Hello, it's Sunday, the 25th September. Yeah, we were able to hit that race at Bandimere. Schedules changed as far as what I had coming up, so I was able to get this race in. So which is good. Another first round runner up. I'll get into that a little bit, but had a weird thing in the elimination round. I'm certainly never used to being faster, especially substantially faster, 20 miles an hour faster than my opponent, and so that was a new deal on the finish line for me. And I ended up lifting because I thought I was coming around him, which I sort of did, I guess, but not really, I guess. Shouldn't have lifted, and if I would have stayed in it, I think there was a pretty good chance we might have won that one. And then there was also, I thinking back on it now, I did a little bit of calculation error when I adjusted my throttle stop time. So, but the car's running great. Beautiful day, man, 60, 70 degrees. Just a little wind every once in a while, not much. There was only about 30 Super Street cars, and there wasn't, there's probably 2/3 the amount of cars that are normally at an event at Bandimere. So I'm not sure why, maybe just late in the year, maybe a Bronco day, I don't know. But you couldn't ask for better conditions, and cars running away. So I'll go through it. I'm going to do something. I only got 3 races. So I'm going to show you the time slip for each race ahead of the race, so you can kind of see what the time slip looks like, and then see what the race for that time slip looks like. Because with throttle stop racing, it looks weird at times. The cars come off the line just real. It's actually about 0.2 seconds full power, and then the throttle stop kicks in, and you'll see the car looks almost like it slows down, and then it picks back up again. So that time when it's powered down is your throttle stop time, and you shorten that if you need to get the car to go faster or quicker, and you lengthen it if it's going to go too fast and you're going to break out. So anyway, I'll go through that. Other than that, it was a great day. It was good to get one more race in. It's probably going to do it for the year. Car's still running good, so that's always good. I've got a few little things I might want to do to it over the winter, and then so we'll probably pick it back up. I might have something in the winter we might post if I get anything done on it, whatever. But we're probably looking at probably April sometime. We might go to a Division 7 event. They usually are kind of the first out of the box. If not, it'll probably be either that Bandimere usually has something in late April, and then we'll probably go back to Great Bend, which I assume is going to be in November. So anyway, thanks for watching. You're going to see 3 races here. I'll have the time slip in front of them and kind of describe that to you real quick, and then have the race, and that'll be it. Again, thanks again. Appreciate everybody. There's a few of you that have subscribed. That's cool. If you can like what you're doing, that's cool too. But again, mainly it's just to kind of show you guys what somebody that got into drag racing at about 67 is doing right now. And I know to some of my friends and whatnot, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a lot of fun. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so this will be for the first time trial, and I'll have the race coming right after this. So I'm going to go over this. Will take a little bit of time this first time is to go over the time slip. So the time slip, there's the car number. There is the class we're running in. There is our index, 1150. That's in Denver at about almost 6,000 feet. At sea level, this same class is at 1090. And like in Great Bend, I think it was 1105. So they adjusted for altitude, because the higher you are, the less horsepower you have. So this is just an over and under indicator as far as where you ended up. That'll show up in a little bit here. All right, so my reaction time was 060 on a time trial. I mean, they have the same concentration level on everything, but concentration level. But an 060 on a time trials should be doing better than that, but it doesn't. On a time trial, it has no effect on what you're doing. Basically, what we're trying to do is see how fast the car is, how it's running in the conditions for that day and the track conditions. So here's your 60 time. So that's 1.839. So that's to get to the first 60 feet. And at that time, now the throttle stop will already have been kicked in at this time, because the throttle stop kicks in at 0.2 seconds and runs for depending on what I had it set. On this one, I was at 1.7. So actually, the throttle stop came off just a fraction of a second after this 60 feet. So almost all of this time is under the throttle stop. So it's going to be a lot less than if the car was running wide open. 330, so that's at your first 330, which is like a 16th of a mile. And then here's 8th mile. And then it was running good. It was pretty cool air. It was, I think it was 60 degrees out, or 61.4 degrees, 101 miles an hour. That's for when you're on the throttle stop. That's a pretty good, for our car, that's a really good 8th mile per hour at 1,000 feet. And that's where you want to see your consistency. And when you see the rest of these, you'll see we're within just a few thou every time. All right, so I ran 11.548. Again, what we're shooting for is 11.5. So that is where that 48 comes in. I was 48 too slow. All right, so that's how that works. And I was just almost 127 miles an hour, which, again, when you're on throttle stop for our car up in Denver, that's a really good mile per hour. But again, the air was good. So that's kind of how a time slips. So if you kind of look at the other side here, you can tell this is kind of fun. So he had a better light. He had a 20 light than I had. So he got away from the line actually 40 thousandths before I did. And then, but the rest of these time don't have anything to do with your reaction time, because it's when you leave the line to where you end up. It has nothing to do with your reaction time. So you can see we're almost really close, and you'll see it when you look at the video, really close at 60 foot. He was a little slower. You'll see I went ahead of him a little bit at the 16th of a mile. Again, I'm still ahead of him about 2/10 at the 8th mile, halfway. He then, you can see where he's a faster car. So you can see down here, he ends up running 142 miles an hour. So this is where he starts picking it up. So he's at 108 and a half, and I'm at 101. He's a little bit ahead of me here at 1,000 feet. And then, but he broke out. I don't know what happened. He's a good racer. I was surprised to see him. But everybody's messing with stuff, and you're trying to figure the car out. That's why you do time trials. So he was 11.376. Not that it matters, but if this would have been a regular race, I would have won because I didn't break out. I didn't get below 11.5. So anyway, take a look at this race, and then we'll move to the next one. Okay, so this will be the second race, well, not race, a time trial. But the cool thing about when you're doing Super Series races is the time trials are kind of like a race, because you both start at the same time and leave at the same time, and you're racing under the same conditions you would be in an elimination. Whereas if you're in a bracket race, you both leave at the same time, even though you could be significantly either faster or slower than the other car. So anyway, car number, I was 20 over, you'll see when I get here, which actually is getting kind of where you want to be. You want to be a little bit closer if you can, but that wasn't bad. You can win a few races at that. You can see I went red by 3 thou, so I was pretty close on the time, just went red a little bit, too quick. Now, if that would have been a regular race, I'd have lost because I red lit. Then you can see we're still at that 1.8, very close to where we were. In the race before, I was 1:8:39. This is 1:8:41. I was actually, I had 15 hundredths less time on the throttle stop this time, so you would expect that to be a little faster. And then you can see he's a little faster than I was at the 16th of a mile, or at 3:30, 16th of a mile. He's a little faster than me at the 8th mile. And then you can see at the 8th mile, though, you can tell I'm doing almost 101. He's at 96.5. And then we were almost dead even. We're just 20 thou difference. And then look at this. We ran the exact same ET. And I was about a mile an hour faster than he was. Not quite. So you'll see that in the race also. Okay, so this is the elimination round. You're going to watch that as the last race. All right, car number. So I was 38 over, and you can see over here he was 31. So that's 7 thou. And then you get down here to the reaction time. I was 0:14, which is a pretty good light. I mean, normally I would take that. He's got an 0:12. So if you add his 12 plus his 31, he's at 43 for a total package. And you got to add my 38 and 14. I'm at 52. So 9 thousandths of a second is what I lost by. And again, I lifted. I'll show you. You can see down here the mile an hour where I've been running 120, about a little over 1 mile an hour faster than that. I lifted because this is really weird. Look at his mile an hour to my mile an hour. All right. And I'm usually even a mile an hour faster than that. So almost 20 miles an hour faster. I'm not used to that. I mean, it's very, very unusual where I'm significantly faster at the finish line than the car I'm racing. And I thought I was around him. I really did. At the line, I thought I was around him, and I lifted. So that scrubbed a mile an hour off. I don't know if that would have been 9 thou. I really don't. I guess I could probably figure that out, but at least I would have been a little bit closer. And then the other thing I did is I did not adjust properly. From the last time slip, making the adjustment I needed to make in the timer, I reduced it 1/10 of a second on the timer to make the car go faster. I should have went at least 1.5 tenths or even 2 tenths. And that would have put me, and when I went back and looked at it again and factored in the weather and how the air got worse, I really should have been at about 2. And if I would have been 2, I would have easily been down 11, 5:15, something like that. Probably could have won the race. So anyway, it gives you an idea of how what we look at in the time slips, and then you can see how the race looked compared to the time slip. Talk to you later. Bye.